Hello, friendly folk of the Facebook.
Friendly folk of the Facebook.
We're once again in this awesome Clapham Park. And
different location. This is
slightly different area. It's a pretty big park. And what just happened? We've been working out. And, can I share?
Yeah.
So, Libby started feeling lightheaded, and, actually, you share.
Yeah, so I started feeling really dehydrated all of a sudden. I was like, I probably should have drinking more water before I had come out. And there was all of a sudden, this point at which I got to, and I was like, it was like this battle between staying and needing to be strong and working out versus going to get water at a restaurant over here and coming back and finishing the workout. And I found that as I was sitting down, all of this, I was really resistant. Amy was kind of like, what's going on for you right now? Amelia, sorry. And there was this complete resistance. There was this complete don't fucking ask me that. Almost like this, nothing's great. All of that was happening in my body, and leaning into that, I know I wanted to address it. Amy knew that she was there's Amelia, sorry, knew that there was something to be addressed, and so we went there, and a lot of sadness came up. And it brought me back to a moment in middle school where I was a really slow runner. I wasn't that athletic. And I had this PE coach that might not have been happy in herself, but she was she name called and she said you're the slowest, and to bring back all of these memories of I created a story that showing up in working out and showing up in my own self meant that I was to stay in a workout, or that I had to show up and be strong and show up and complete the workout, and
that you were weak
and then I was weak if I didn't, by giving myself water
and not listening to your body, and that if you to listen to your body would be not an acceptable way of being.
And it's interesting because it only shows up when I'm working out with another rather than by myself. And this was at the point we got to this one moment where Amy was I kind of still want to, Amelia, 30 times, I kind of still want to continue to work out. And I was something had been hit, a pain body had been hit, and I was very emotional. And it was the stage of which I felt oh, she still wants to work out. I'm just going to pack this up and just put it away for later. And then she was do you want me to leave? Or do you want me to what did you say? You were
well, in the most love and way of being that I know, the work we do together to serve, I challenged her in that moment. You didn't. In that moment, and I said, do you want me to keep being with you, or do you want me to work, or can I work out? And I was tracking my own desire to continue working out, and knowing that I wanted to be with her in her frustration and her sadness and her anger. And it was an edge, I could have stepped into my world and call it selfish, call it, what you will. But my highest desire was for Libby to step into her wants. What was her ask? And I knew it was an edge for her to say, actually, I don't want you to work out. I want you to be here with me. And can you let go of your desire to do this for me selflessly? And I said, yes. No. It wasn't yes, okay, I'm gonna do it. It was.
You said how you responded.
A curiosity.
It was more of, actually, I kind of want to stay in this. And how does it feel to hear from that?
I named both of my noticings. I was noticing I wanted to work out and keep doing what we had been doing, and I knew that I wanted to stay with her. And what would it be like if I kept doing it, kept working out while being with her, or I just was with her?
So for me, I took that in that moment. I stated that that there was like a tracking that had been occurring, and like this has kind of been like the end of the cusp of like not feeling as though I was being treated as just another human, and more of like, oh, Libby, you've got it, like you handle your sadness and I'm going to continue doing what I want to do. And it like brought up all of these emotions, like that if it was anyone else, I felt as though she would have sat there with them and been in that. But because I was her little sister, it felt as though like she wasn't there fully present for me, and was able to be there in my sadness with me. And in that, it unraveled this kind of moment of a lot of frustration came out, and this feeling of like, so you can do this for others, but for me it's like I have to do it by myself.
And like it's like a real ask, like I want you to be with me and I don't know if she's gonna take it. Is that fit for you? Like I don't know if she's gonna do it.
It was more of like that this has been something that has been occurring. And like noticing it, and then finally it just kind of came out like, wow, like, you know, the phone thing that we had touched on.
Yeah.
And just like not being anytime
my presence to Libby.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a sense that, and I totally acknowledge, or totally perhaps have overlooked, you know, she's my sister and I feel immensely comfortable with her, and sometimes I don't give her the full 100% presence because I'm like, oh, like this is Libby and I, you know, she's my little sister. And in this moment, what I think is most alive to say is that I see Libby as a human, and she
like
happens
to,
and she happens to be my sister instead of she's my little sister. And this is just like what we do together, and how we be together is really nourishing and wonderful. So I mean, just as much as I hope Libby got from the conversation, I really got that, like, that I can show up and we can, you know, give to each other in a completely different way than perhaps I might have been because of me seeing her as my little sister. So I feel stoked about what is possible from this place. I think that the playing fields are more present to me as equality than anything before.
Yeah, I had noticed, because I noted yesterday that, like, I just remember the switch of where it was like the going from the big sister of like, oh, these things are getting triggered, to where it's like, oh no, she's like another human being, and I'm not getting triggered out of competition. It's now allowing her to step more into. And so I named yesterday that, you know, I see you as a human, and then it was like this feeling of like this unraveled today of, does she see me as a human as well? And I think that's what's beautiful, is like, it's like, notice what stories you've created for others in your life, whether that is your mother, father. Like, I'm starting to see our mom and dad in like a whole different light, and I'm starting to really want to,
like,
I'm
they're
desiring
a mother and our father,
and
they're humans, and they're epic.
Yeah, and I'm wanting
Shout out to mom and dad.
Yeah, I'm desiring to see them in their own light more, and what they step into, and noticing really, you know, stepping into things that for me, this, like, even sharing this is like really vulnerable, like the fact of like that sadness, and what I have kind of like what I'm sharing on this right now is like this feeling of asking when you're desiring something from another, and like wanting to be selfish, like step into being selfish. It's really, really important in all of your desires and all of your wants, and being sad and wanting someone there with you, and wanting someone to step into that with you, and being like, actually, I need you here with me right now, and that's not too much of an ask.
Yeah. Again, we stand for you guys having exactly what you want in your world, and being your highest self, and meeting yourself where you're at with those things that you need to accomplish what you dream of, and who you want to support you. And sometimes it may feel uncomfortable, and sometimes it's going to be like, might seem like the biggest deal ever to ask somebody to be there with you and have presence with you in whatever support you are desiring for yourself. And you never know how people might want to show up if you just simply ask.
Yeah, I think that's too. And I think it's like, if you can lean into that edge too, it's like, Amy in this position played the role of like continue to push, and I finally was just like, I'm going to continue to push back. Like, I'm going to continue to push my edge and step into that. And I think that's to say, like, if you notice that you're resisting something, or you're like, well, this doesn't feel comfortable, name it right here, right now, name it with that individual. And the only thing that can come out of that is that they stand more for their wants, and you're like, fuck, there's more coming up, and it wasn't met, but that's okay. I feel this, and I'm gonna feel this, and I'm gonna be in this, and I'm gonna stand for my sadness, and I'm gonna stand for my frustration and my anger. These have been given such bad labels. Anger, sadness, fear. They are your teachers. They are incredible, and they want to be heard just as much as happiness and joy and excitement. Like that, they're so important. And
the more you can welcome all ranges of your experience, the more life will start to unfold in a wholesome, holistic, all-encompassing way. And I know that life will become more fulfilling for you when you have access to all these different expressions.
Yeah.
So I want to leave it here. Do you feel complete?
Yeah, I just want to say, listen to you. Listen to you. You have a lot of wisdom. Listen to you. Wherever it is in your body, listen to what you have to give.
Boom, pal. Hope you have an amazing day. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.